Good morning. You're going to make your flippable or foldable today for your notebook. We're going to reflect over two lines. First is the x-axis and the second is the y-axis. First we'll do x. On this flap, for any of you who are artistic, and we know who you are, Dan, Nicolette, Olivia, Morgan, to mention a few, go ahead and fab this up. Color in the letters, make some diagrams, make some shapes, make it nice. And now let's practice reflecting over the x-axis. The first thing I almost always do is I actually draw a line over that x-axis so I can remember that that's the line I'm reflecting over. And let me change the color here a little bit. Let's look at A. What are the points of A? Well, let me count over, and if it helps you to number the axes, feel free. I'm not going to. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm at -5. Please draw with me. Everything I write, you should be writing. And down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm at -6. Before I write my rule up here at the top, I want you to help me practice. If I'm reflecting over this line, it should be an equidistance from that x-axis. So let's count. If this is 6 down, the next point for A prime should be 6 up. But the x coordinate stays the same. So A prime should be -5, but this time +6. Okay, let's do the same thing for B. 1, 2, 3, down 2. So -3, -2. Make sure you're writing clearer than me. So B prime, if I'm equidistant from the x-axis, I'm going to go up 2. But the x value stays the same. So -3, 2. And C is over 1 down 6. So I'm -1, -6. And if this is the same distance away from the x-axis, the x doesn't change, but the y does, and that's positive. So as you are looking at these, notice what changes. The x value stays the same, but the y value becomes positive. So what we're going to do is we're going to write our rule as x, comma, -y. Now we need to draw this. So we were at -5. This was A prime. I started to draw and then I lost track, didn't I? C should be at this point. Well, that's C prime. And B should be 2 away, which is here, right? And try, if you can, to draw really straight. I'm not going to be able to because it's on my computer, but try if you can. And there is our reflected image. You might want to pause this. I'm going to roll down. Now we're going to reflect over the y-axis, and again, fab this up. Make it yours. Color in the letters. Remember, this time we're going to reflect over the y-axis, so let's color that in again. I should make that thicker so you can see it better. But I always color in the axis. Yeah, that's better. So that I can remember where I'm reflecting. Go back to black. Hey, if you have a different color marker, you might want to do a different color for these reflections so you can see the difference between the x and the y. And we'll give it a shot here. So J is at 1, comma, it looks like 3. So I'm going to write 1, comma, 3. Now as we reflect over the y-axis, we need to make sure we're equidistant from the y-axis. So J is 1 away from the y. J prime should be 1 away in the other direction. So if you notice, what changed this time? The x value changed, not the y. All right, I'm going to label that J prime. Let's look at K. K is 1, 2, 3, comma, -2. So if K is 1, 2, 3 away from the y-axis, we need to go to the left 3. 1, 2, 3, and I should have said 3 to the right. So we need to go 3 to the left. So our x value is what changes again. the y value stays the same. So let me draw that in. So we went 1, 2, 3 to the right. Now I go 1, 2, 3 to the left. And I'm going to write k prime. And the last one, L. We went 1 to the right, down 2. So it's 1, comma, negative 2. And L prime then is right here, because if L was to the right one, now it should be to the left one. So this is L prime, which is at negative 1, comma, negative 2. All right, let's look for our rule. The only thing that changed here this time was the x-axis. So let's draw a little line, arrow notation. So the x's became negative this time. The y stayed the same. So one way to remember it is if we're reflecting over the x, the y changes. If we're reflecting over the y, the x changes. So let's draw our points in here. And look at that. We have a mirror image of our triangle. Please use a ruler on yours. It's hard on mine. Now, you should have, yours is orange, I hope. This is your flappable. So you had it looking like this. You are to cut these apart and fold them, glue them into your notebook, and then send us a video of your work.